Well, it's been a while. It's been a while since I made a video, and it's a Monday morning. I'm here in my home office in Santa Rosa, California, and I would say this is just like any other Monday morning, you know, sitting down to do my work, having my breakfast, etc. But today, this Monday, September 15th, is not like any other Monday, because just in the other room, here in my home in Santa Rosa, California, the spare bed is just covered with a whole bunch of stuff getting ready to take another trip. So that's right, I'm on the road again, and it's been a while. But you know, as I've told some people that have emailed me and asked me, you know, I kind of lost interest in doing videos there for a while. And I wanted to take a trip. And I thought, you know, I can't let the trip go by without doing some videos. I know that there's a lot of people out there that really enjoy my videos. I think the last time I looked, my subscriber count on my YouTube channel was up over 400, you know, and my videos have been viewed just under 1 million times. So imagine that. I think two of the hundreds of videos that I've uploaded have been viewed about 500,000 times. But anyway, so as far as where I'm going, it's quite a trip I've got in store for me. I leave tomorrow morning at 3 a.m. out of San Francisco, and I head to Cleveland, Ohio, a place where I was born. And from there, I'm going to be going over to Washington, D.C., and then back to Cleveland for a wedding. And then the real trip begins. I fly over to Dublin, so I'll be, 1 week from today, I'll be walking the streets of Dublin, Ireland. I think there's about an 8-hour time difference, so it's about 7 in the morning here. I may be sitting down to have a nice Irish beer about this time in one of the pubs in Dublin, Ireland. From Dublin, I'm there for about a week, and there's this event over there called the Matchmaker Festival. And if you're ever so inclined or you're interested, go to the internet website www.matchmakerireland.com. And this is a festival that I saw that happens every year in this little tiny village in Western Ireland. Village has about 1,000 residents. And I'll try to pronounce the name. I think it's Lisdoonvarnen or something like that, but you'll see when you look it up online. I should also note that if you go to look this up online, I think that their homepage this year has some type of acknowledgement that they're going to have a gay weekend. So I've shared that link with a couple people, and they came back and questioned, you know, as to whether I was gay or not, and I'm not gay. But as they say on Seinfeld, not that there's anything wrong with that. So anyway, the Matchmaker Festival looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to stay in Dublin for about 3 days, hang out at a cafe or something, and do my usual work. And then I'm going to rent a car, and I'm going to go take a little scenic 2 or 3 day trip around the southern part of Ireland. From Ireland, guess what? It's back to Budapest. That's right. So I went on Airbnb, and I found a place to rent in Budapest. It's a beautiful home. I know very well where it is. It looks fantastic. I picked it up for about $1,300 for the month. So that's going to work out really, really well. Primary reason for the trip and going to Budapest is I've been working on a major project for a client. My biggest project to date in the years that I've been doing web design, and I'll probably be talking about that and sharing some of that with you as the trip evolves. I'm just like this close to launching it. But anyway, so the individual that I've been working with on this project lives in Krakow, Poland, and I wanted to be on the same time zone so we could coordinate our efforts. It's kind of challenging when my morning is her night and her night is, well, you know how it goes. But anyway, so So I want it to be over there so that I can be on the same time zone and better coordinate our project together. I may take a couple side trips when I'm over there. I don't know. I'm just going to kind of see which way the wind blows, so to speak, or as my dad would say, saunter, and just relax. I probably will go up to Krakow because my business partner has some little children and they'd like to see me. And as I recall, there's just a couple really good restaurants in Krakow. But anyway, let's back up for a moment and let's go back to the first part of the trip, Cleveland. And you know, every time that I go into Cleveland, I left Cleveland, what, probably 30-some years ago now. But every time I go into Cleveland, it's a wonderful opportunity to see my family. And I get to see them maybe once a year. You know, as of recent, I get to see them maybe once a year, maybe twice a year. But in particular, what's really, really nice is that I get to see my mom and dad. And my mom and dad are of the age that, you know, I mean, life is precious, and you don't know how long you're going to have your parents, or they're going to have you for that matter. But so anytime that you have a chance to see your parents, that's a real blessing. I know my mom's probably watching this video. Hi, Mom. Love you, and looking forward to seeing you when I'm in Cleveland. And then my dad, probably the biggest reason, I gotta say the biggest reason, or one of the biggest reasons I'm going to Cleveland, other than going to my brother's wedding. I have a brother that's getting married on Saturday the 22nd or 21st, something like that. But anyway, next Saturday he's getting married. But I heard of a program called Honor Flight, and it's a program, it's a national nonprofit, and its purpose or its mission is to fly veterans to Washington, D.C. to see the war memorial, or war memorials, the World War II Memorial, the Air Force Memorial, Korean War, Vietnam War. Go to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, Arlington Cemetery, meet some politicians, etc. And this is a nonprofit. It's sponsored in part by Southwest. They provide the flight, and there's different chapters around the country. So I sent a application in for the Cleveland chapter. My dad was approved. He was on a Victory ship. We'll talk about a little bit about that when we actually start this trip. But my dad was on a Victory ship, so he was approved, and we're going to be getting on a plane on Tuesday morning, which happens to be his 86th birthday. Imagine that. So we're getting on a, actually no, I'm sorry, the 18th. We're getting on a plane on the 18th, but let's go to the 17th, which is his birthday. So I fly into Cleveland on Tuesday morning. I leave at 3 o'clock in the morning tonight or tomorrow morning. I arrive in Cleveland, and my dad doesn't know this yet, but my dad is going to be picked up. I've arranged with a good friend of mine, Mike Sturgio from Transmission World in Cleveland. He has a friend that has a limo company. So I've made arrangements, and they're going to pick me up in a limousine. We're going to go get my dad, who's probably about 30 minutes from the airport. He has no idea he's being picked up in a limousine. And we're going out to a restaurant called I think it's called the Bomber Squadron. And it's a World War II era style restaurant. Very, very nice restaurant just outside the airport in Cleveland. So we're going to do that. We're going to go to dinner at that restaurant. And then I sent an email to the Hilton Hotel in Cleveland. And you know, it's amazing what you'll get when you just ask for it. So I sent an email to a couple hotels, and the Hilton replied back that they would give my father and I a complimentary evening at the hotel, which happens to be just a minute from the restaurant. So we're going to stay in a hotel because we got to be up at around 3 o'clock in the morning. So the next 2 days I've got to be up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. But we got to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning for the flight. And you know, I thought what would really make a nice thing to this video, a nice addition to this video, is that my dad, bless his heart, my dad is the greatest man I ever met. I mean, hands down, he's the greatest guy that I ever met. I feel so fortunate to have a father like him, and to have a mother like my mother. But anyway, every time I call my father over the years, you know, he's 86, so his voice is somewhat frail. And when he picks up the phone, he'll always say, "Hello?" And then as soon as I say, "Dad, it's Tommy," you'll hear. I'm going to try to call him right now and see if I can't play this for you. So let's see, because it's about 11 o'clock there. He usually goes to the senior center over in Cleveland, so maybe I'll catch him before he goes. But let's see if he's at home. I've got this hooked up to a speaker so you can hear it. Come on, Dad. Usually he picks up the phone right away, so maybe he's out putting up the flag or something like that. I'll call him back. But anyway, so that is that's the extent of the trip. I will be staying in the honor flight trip to Washington, D.C. It's just a one-day trip. They leave at 6:30 in the morning and they come back at well, I don't know, 8 or 9 o'clock at night. But I'm going to stay in Washington, D.C. because there happens to be a big convention related to my work in town that weekend, and I've got about 5 clients in the area, so I'm going to go call on those clients, fly back to Cleveland. As far as getting the preparation for the trip, this trip, you know, there's a lot of prep that goes into, you know, picking up across and going across the country. First of all, I rented my house. I found some people on Craigslist, a couple from Texas. They're going to be renting my house. They're going to pay me well, almost $2,000 a month, and they're going to rent it for 2 months and pay me cash up front for that. So they were pre-screened. I don't just take people off the internet and let them move into my house. They were pre-screened, credit scores, background checks, full lease agreement, the whole 9 yards with that. What else goes into prepping? You got to make arrangements like for people to pick up your mail, people to make deposits for you at the bank if necessary. And then there's all the gear that's required to get ready. You know, I bought some new equipment. Speaking of which, I bought a new video camera, and it's supposed to be one of the latest and greatest video cameras. That's what's recording this video right here. So I bought this video camera, and I bought the video camera, and what else did I get? Well, I didn't buy too much other new stuff. I bought some new clothes and whatever, but you know, I made a couple trips to Costco. I'm bringing some little clothes for a friend's daughter, little Nati, who is actually the daughter of my ex-fiance over in Budapest. So I bring her little clothes. I'm bringing my ex some reading books. And you know, I got to stock up on the chewing gum because the chewing gum over in Hungary is just terrible. But anyway, so that's it. I just plan on a relaxing next several weeks. Not going to be relaxing because I'm going to be working. When I'm in Budapest, it's going to be business as usual. I will only have, with the exception of the trip to Ireland, a few days in Ireland, this is a full working holiday for me. So I'm sure that you know, I'm going to be busy over there in Budapest. But that's not to say that I'm not going to enjoy some of the sights and definitely the food. I can't wait to go to some of the restaurants on Rade Utza Street, and there's a little wine bar called Divine, and I'm also looking forward to doing my nightly strolls along the Danube River. I like to do that. I'll download like AM radio talk shows or something like that, and I'll go for like a 5 or a 6 mile walk along the Danube River. So anyway, this has been a rather lengthy introduction to this trip, and for those of you that stuck around to watch it, I hope that you decide to come along on the trip with me. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be a nice trip. I think it's really going to be a nice trip. A lot of things have changed since I've last been there, and I'm looking forward to getting back and seeing friends like my friend Craig and Andras and Andrea and their little girls, little girl Peppy and their little boy Andras. And we'll see where else I travel. I might go over to Amsterdam. I might go down to I've always thought of going to Normandy to see the beaches in Normandy. There's also the possibility that I'll go to Munich and I'll go to Oktoberfest. When I land in Budapest on the 1st of October, that following weekend is the last weekend of Oktoberfest, and it's about a 6-hour drive from Budapest. So I may actually just go over there and just spend a day at Oktoberfest. We'll see. You'll have to stay tuned to find out. So anyway, in closing, I'll share this thought with you that you know, I realize how fortunate that I am. You know, if I had a nickel for every time somebody said "what a life," I probably wouldn't be a working holiday for me. But you know, I'm just blessed. It's you know, to be able to travel as I do, and to have gotten in the traveling that I've done here at the age of 49, soon to be 50. It's just incredible. I mean, I've seen so much and done so much, and I'm not the only person in the world that has traveled such as I have. I realize that, but I think that I've traveled more than most, and don't think for a second that I'm not grateful for that. All right, so let's let the journey begin, okay? And have a great day. Oh, Todd in Baltimore, I know that you watch these videos. So I land in Baltimore, Todd, on Wednesday morning. We land Wednesday morning in Baltimore, and then that evening we come back to the airport with my dad. He goes home, and I've got to find a place to stay. So Todd, if you have any suggestions, I sure would like to sit down and meet you and your wife and your little baby, okay, when I'm in Baltimore. So if we can work that out, that would definitely be another highlight of the trip. All right, have a great day, everybody, and take good care.